The holiday season is upon us, the month of giving is here, and the markets have already gifted us with some amazing gains here at Waves Capital, thanks to these two names right in front of us. That being said, I don't think the party's over for SLV or On just yet. In fact, I think that both of these will significantly outperform the markets into the new year. And in this video, I'm excited to talk to you guys about why and how high I think both of these can climb. My name's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to Waves Capital. Let's dive into my favorite two stocks of December 2025. All right, team, let's get straight to the point. We'll keep this one short and sweet. As you can see in front of us, we have the two names that we're going to be discussing today. iShares Silver Trust and/or ticker symbol SLV is a spot silver ETF, meaning that whatever silver does, whatever the price of silver per ounce is, SLV will track that. The reason I am bullish on SLV is because Wave 2 has begun. As you can see in back, I got some Wave 2 graphics going on. We will, of course, dive into that, and I'll do my best to rationalize these price targets and why I think the second wave has been initiated. And it's silver's time to shine. If you guys haven't yet seen the video that I posted a couple of months back titled Silver Stocks Could Be on the Verge of a Historic Bull Run, here's what you need to know, then go check that out. I go into a much deeper fundamental analysis of why I am and have been bullish on silver, especially relative to gold, historically speaking. So go check that out if you haven't. But for the purpose of this video, again, short and sweet, just know that I'm very bullish on silver. I have been bullish on silver, and I'm really glad that this ended up panning out well. And of course, our portfolio is very glad that this panned out well too. Okay, so again, we will dive into the charts after this brief description of these companies. But on top of silver, or SLV, is On Holding AG, or ticker symbol ON. On Holding is the newer and higher end Nike. Those are not their words, those are my words. That's my opinion of what On is. I've been a fan of On for a couple of years now. I have plenty of their shoes, of their clothing, and it's, in my opinion, as someone who's worn quite a bit of pretty solid shoes and clothing, this is of a very high standard, and the product speaks for, the performance of the stock and the performance of the recent earnings report. So the reason I'm bullish on and the reason I have been and continue to be bullish on is that they both just crushed earnings and the consumer is strong. And that is what has been made evident, not just the consumer, but specifically the mid to high tier consumer, which is On's target demographic. And that consumer is spending. That's what a lot of the Black Friday data and Cyber Monday, today's Cyber Monday specifically, or technically, today's Cyber Monday, Black Friday was on Friday, but the data we received over the weekend speaks to that mid to high tier consumer being strong. That is the target demo once again for On Holding AG. Okay, so both of these have been performing well. I think that they will continue to do so, and I'm just really excited to continue to enjoy the ride and hopefully continue to skim some profits as we continue to move higher. A lot of continuation there. But before we dive into the charts, before I talk about silver's beautiful two-wave pattern, if you guys want a full breakdown of my personal portfolio, if you want to know how we've really been skimming profits from both our On and SLV positions over the past couple of weeks and still retain a massive position, then it's the first link in the description of this video, or I'll put the link in a pinned comment under the video as well. It's my complete portfolio, daily trade alerts, email newsletters. It's only $15 a month or $40 for every 3 months. That is completely up to you, but you receive everything that this box here entails. And I take pride in the price point I put on this product. This hasn't changed since I created it almost 6 years ago now, which is crazy. So I take pride in that. I take pride in the fact that it's been an amazing year and an amazing couple of months and, an amazing day. So let's hope that the gains continue to keep coming in. As always, if you are an existing member of the portfolio newsletter group, it would mean a lot if you dropped, just shared your experience in the comments down below, what you're excited about. Let me know what you're going to be spending some of these profits on, what gifts you're getting for your loved ones. Because with the way things are looking right now, it looks like there are going to be, hopefully a lot more gifts under the tree than there are going to be for many, because I will just say, as I said this in today's newsletter. Today was a bloody day for the markets. Like today was not a pretty day in the markets, but silver and on prevailed. Silver and on managed to climb significantly. And of course, our call options climb significantly more as growth assets like Bitcoin, a lot of small caps, AI plays, just most sectors of the market failed to perform. So it's easy to look smart and make money in a bull market, but it takes skill and it takes discipline to make money and to succeed in tough times or in bearish times. And I'm really proud to say that we've been doing that. So again, if you want to join the team, it's the first link in the description of the video. But if not, no worries at all. I appreciate you watching this, and I hope you gain some value from it. Let me know in the comments below if you are familiar with either of these names, if you're bullish on either of these names, and if not, let me know what you're excited about, what stock you're most excited about for the month of December, going into the new year even. So diving into SLV, and then once again, we'll touch on. SLV is looking beautiful. Keep in mind, SLV directly tracks silver, okay? So once again, it's not going to look exactly the same because silver is a more extended market, but with more liquidity as well. But SLV, for the most part, directly tracks silver. So SLV, you can see here that silver, which today just reached a new all-time high with this impressive, nearly at one point today it was almost a 4% gain. So silver looking amazing. SLV, once again, tracking silver. This setup is just so incredibly bullish. So silver, over the course of this year, even since those April lows, silver has appreciated by a very, very clean 100%. Okay, so silver has doubled since those April lows, and as of, 2 sessions ago, we have successfully broken out of the symmetrical triangle pattern that was in play. We were eyeballing this at Waves Capital. We used that opportunity. This dip over here, right in this region, we actually had a pretty significant amount of silver call options exposure within the options portfolio and the common share portfolio as well. Use this opportunity. We saw the symmetrical triangle pattern printing, sharked up a new January call options position over here that is already up over 300% as I'm recording this, or as of this morning when we took some profits. So amazingly played here. This is exactly what I love to see and exactly why I retained a pretty significant, a very sizable position within my portfolio, because when you see a symmetrical triangle pattern printing, that pattern will typically resolve itself in the direction of the prevailing trend. In this case, it's very, very clearly up. Okay, so we're going to zoom back in here. But as we zoom out, you can see that silver is also in the process of printing my favorite pattern in the entire trading game, and one that we coined here at Waves Capital. That is the two-wave pattern. So you can see here following a breakout. This happened, late summer, a few months back. Late summer, we got a breakout from this very long-term ascending channel, borderline a trading range, okay, just partially ascending channel that's been in place since May of 2024. Broke out of that, came up, retested that broken line of resistance as new support, checked off that box, which I really like to see. That initiated wave one. Now, I also mentioned this in the newsletter earlier, but I want to make this very clear, regardless of what we're ever talking about, but this is applicable whenever you're talking about any trading pattern that will ever exist. Nothing is guaranteed. This is the trading game, okay? We have data. Things are likelier than not to happen when certain trends are in play or certain patterns are playing themselves out. But it's important to remember that nothing is guaranteed. What I'm about to say could absolutely not pan out, but know that my money's where my mouth is, and I will be trading according to what I'm about to say. So, wave one lasted about 30 days. Now, it's a pretty long wave, and this, you could consider this the beginning of the wave. Personally, I'm going to consider the beginning of the first wave, the retest of this line of broken long-term resistance, when we ended up seeing that pretty parabolic move higher, okay, or very consistent move higher over the course of a full month. But over that 30 days, silver climbed a total of 34%, okay? And now that the second wave has initiated, I'm being conservative here because I wouldn't say a lot of individuals, but you could definitely say that this is the beginning of the second wave now that we've broken out from this symmetrical triangle pattern. But I'm going to start it down here at the base of the existing rally. I think that the second wave, personally, I don't I don't think this will last 30 days. Could it last 30 days? Could it go into the new year? Could it go into January, February? Absolutely. As a trader, I'm doing my best not to get greedy and to lock in profits while things, before the average Joe who hops on board, who's falling for the silver hype right now, is going to exit. Okay, so I think that by December 10th, silver could climb as high, if not again, maybe higher, to $59. Just mirroring this 33 to 34% move. It could be even higher than that, take us up to $64. But just playing this somewhat conservatively, still optimistically, but conservatively, I do think that this second wave higher could take silver within the next week or so just under $60. And that is where I will personally be taking some significant profits and, restructuring my position. But just to play angel's advocate, I guess, I do think silver could climb a lot higher. I think that this is this could definitely be the beginning of a much more exciting bull market for silver that does span into 2026, especially given, once again, what I was talking about earlier when it comes to silver's historic value relative to gold. I think that it's silver's time to shine, although I will be taking profits, and I will be definitely taking profits around here just under $60, which is also a pretty significant psychological even. I'm still going to have a significant silver call position within my portfolio, and I'm definitely holding on to my silver common shares, or SLV common shares, into 2026. So SLV, very excited there. Let's talk about On, and we'll call it a day. On holding AG, looking beautiful as we zoom out here to just kick it off a little more macro. On holding is in a massive multi-year, been in place since March. You could say this has been in place since the beginning of 2023. Massive ascending channel, partial megaphone channel, right? Briefly, this was scary, but just, earlier this month or over the course of early November, late October, On briefly broke for almost a week, over a week actually, broke below this line of long-term support on this massive ascending channel, scared a whole bunch of investors, but thankfully their earnings report, which I'll flash right here because this was actually our newsletter from November 12th, where On crushed earnings and we took some major profits. But On just crushed earnings. I'll let you guys pause the video right here if you want to read over this. So, hey, if you did pause, but they crushed earnings. Thankfully, that fundamental catalyst brought them back above the line of support on this massive long-term ascending channel. And right now, it looks like we're in the process of playing out this little inverse head and shoulders pattern that we've been discussing in the portfolio for the past couple of weeks now. So, love to see that. 1-day RSI and 1-day stochastic RSI looking very bullish. You can see here 1-day RSI successfully bounced off of that exponential moving average, which is the white line where my cursor is hovering. Moving up, we're nowhere near overbought territory just yet. I think with this, again, Black Friday, just strong consumer data that's going to be flowing in here over the next week or so, on top of this incredibly bullish earnings report that they presented a couple of weeks back, I think that that's enough to catalyze a move up to, again, still optimistic, but at the very least, in my mind, these conservative lines of medium-term resistance you can see here, on top of being in a massive upward trend, On is in a more medium-term downward trend. So there are these lines of, I'll call conservative, semi-conservative, and absolute resistance that I will be trading off of. So if you are going to trade on with me, if you are trading on with me within the portfolio, keep a close eye on these trend lines. The first one being about 10% up from where we are now, the next 15, and the last, like 21, 22. So I will, of course, be skimming further profits, restructuring my call options position as we do strike these targets. But to be honest, I plan to continue to trade on over the course of 2026, and I will continue to trade it until we test what I would consider to be my conservative line of long-term resistance on this macro ascending channel. That could potentially take us to, $75 or higher over the course of 2026. And again, just know that my money will be where my mouth is. Let me know what you think of these two names. Again, if you're not trading these, let me know what you are excited about in the markets. If you're involved in names like Bitcoin, which has just been doing terribly lately, and I still hold a meaningful position in Bitcoin, of course, that I plan to hold for, the far majority of my life until I'm an old man. So stay strong. If you have been struggling lately, it has not been pretty out there, but just always know there is a bull market somewhere. There will always be diamonds in the rough, and that's what I believe these two names are. And I promise to always do my best to identify those diamonds in the rough for myself, for my family, and for the team. So I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you being a member of the team, and again, I'll see you in the comments downstairs. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.